Hey traders, welcome back. Back with another show with TA with Wreck, where you don't get wrecked. That little line came from one of the hosts. So, with any further ado, let's jump on in. All right, so today I did want to bring up a couple things. I just wanted to bring up kind of what's going on with Bitcoin, kind of what's going on with Ethereum, as mentioned, Cardano, and today we're actually going to look at ETH or sorry, at Link. That's another one of my long-term projects that I'm holding. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to go over price, see kind of where we're at and where we can see price flow going, and see what the technicals are showing us. So right off the bat, let's go to the daily. Let's look at this. We obviously, after our big dump from the El Salvador adopting Bitcoin, we're still maintaining above these EMAs, which is great. We don't see anything else besides, obviously this little dump. Remember, guys, this is on daily time frame, so let's it looks still to me looks very bullish. When you bring down our RSI relative strength index, let me get all this because this looks a little completely off. All right. First, we're going to start with our MACD histogram. And our MACD is obviously telling us that, as I mentioned before yesterday, we want to stay above this middle line and make sure that once we cross over, I like to say that we're very bullish. We have bullish momentum going up, obviously. And when you look back, whenever we started to go down below this line is when we started to break to the downside. Um, Obviously, look, if you look back here, all of this was above, which obviously resulted in our bullish momentum. So now, we dipped a little bit below that, and now we're trying to come back up. And again, guys, this is on daily time frame, so this is a really good indicator. It's that tells us we're moving in the right direction. And as you can see here, we have more negative momentum that got brought up when follow through price action after. From here, obviously, we created negative momentum here, went up, broke down, and now we have a new higher low than our previous low over here. This low here is at 29,000. Obviously, with our big run up, we would expect it to obviously again break down to the downside at some point. We'll have a little bit of a correction, and from our all-time high to our correction phase, we had about a little bit about 20%, which is it's an okay correction. It's not bad. Um, it would have been great if we ended up going back to touch our previous high, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. That would have been a little bit around 21%. But other than that, everything's looking good. Looks like we're maintaining above our EMA ribbon, starting to cross over and fully try and break out of this and move toward the upside. Right now, I have my in and my outlines obviously at our outline, since that was the biggest point of our drop, F428843. We're obviously maintaining above that. Another one that I would probably put on here would be somewhere around along the lines of 44,850. We had congestion over here, back here. After our sell-off, we were able to pick it back up, which is another good thing. You always want to go back to historical data. As I mentioned, look at that. So we're looking kind of good. Our Fibonacci, obviously at the 382. So we left that there. And look at that. That big drop went back to test at 382 from a previous low to high. Went back up and just came to touch that 382. So again, another level to keep up. So let's go into a smaller time frame. I like to trade the 4 hour. I feel like the 4 hour is a good indicator. Um, but obviously, everyone chooses their own little thing right off the bat. This is a level of concern that we obviously have to break in order to remain bullish. Right now, we're a little bit below that. Um, it's not bad, but it doesn't look. It's just something to keep an eye on. We obviously don't want to go below our orange ribbon here, because that would mean we're obviously back on a downtrend. And we must remember whenever we go up, we always have a test up, test down, and that's what we want to do now. Obviously, testing. Hopefully, we could just test back this channel and spring. Um, but for now, let's draw another trend line. Let's see what else we can figure out. Well, I'm gonna keep it there. Um, Once we have this, obviously our channel would be from here. You can have if you're already in the long in this, I guess a level to look forward or look to would be this top right here from this was the Litecoin Walmart announcement. Pretty much what happened is someone screwed up on the Litecoin page and actually said that they were gonna be in partners with Walmart, which didn't end up happening. That was fake news, um, which is why you see the big up and down. And from previous for that day, just in this 4 hour candle, you had an 8% swing, um, $3,500, which is kind of insane. But obviously, from our previous high, we are on a little bit of a downtrend. And when we look back, this would be another support level here, another support level. And as you can see, we are above it. So right here, I would look for hopefully some bullish divergence to start playing out, hopefully, and head to the upside. So that's what I got for Bitcoin right now. You can do Fibonacci on the 4 hour also. Um, and always do again left to right. You can go up or down and give you clues as to where we're gonna go. Right here shows that we're sticking around this 5-0, and we know what can happen at the 5-0. We can break to the upside, break to the downside, break to the 786 or the 886, or break back down to the 382 to test and possibly run back up. Again, we're trying to reach closer to this trend line so that way we can break it. We tried with this candle right here. We just didn't have enough momentum to fully propel us up. When you look at the 1 hour, it is looking like it's pulling back a little bit. It doesn't really look good. It looks like we just broke our trend line on the 1 hour. And then when we look at our MACD RSI, it looks like we're about to break to the downside. Again, every single picture tells you something different. We can stop right here, jump back up. This would be previous support from September 13th. But obviously something to just keep an eye on. All right, let's move on to the next one. So here, I guess for me, um, prediction would probably be something along the lines of this. Go to the 4 hour. We're at the 382, the 5. Maybe we'll break down a little bit to the 382 again, and then just come back here. And possibly reach back to ghost test 5200. The thing is, the more that we can stay above this level right here, it just propels us on a bigger time frame. Our previous high would be 263 or 663, and obviously our low was there. So we're still trading within this range. We're not really breaking out of it. So this would be a good, as long as it doesn't break down, hopefully it just sustains its level. Let's move on to ETH. Everything is a little bit down in the market today. You know, ETH is down 50 bucks, down 1%. Again, let's look at the daily. Here, obviously, we had a breakthrough in our trend line in our daily time frame, which is great. Just move this a little bit here. Once we broke, obviously, once we broke, we clearly have a good momentum on the way up. 4 hours looking great, looking not looking too bad. And again, guys, remember that you can always use trend lines both for the upside and the downside. Let's just flip this chart over. And I would have to break this in order to be bearish. You would have to break below this trend line. Again, when you break this down, look at that. Low to high, crossed, touched here. Try to come back down on touch, but stayed above it. And then currently, again, you're touching, you're trying to break above it. Not looking too good. I think that we could have a small correction, but I think this is why you have to decide what you want to do long term, keep short term, um, do what you got to do. Again, congestion at the 5. You broke out of it, but you're still sticking around it. I personally think that ETH is gonna outperform Bitcoin in the short term. Let's bring out the ETH to BTC chart. This is a chart that gives you the price of Ethereum compared to the price of a Bitcoin. And obviously, Bitcoin's a way higher price. Ethereum's not. Ethereum right now is only currently 7.5% of one Bitcoin. And here, what I like to do with this is it kind of tells us where Bitcoin is going or where Ethereum might possibly go in comparison to Bitcoin. To adjust this trend line. Because obviously we didn't have a breakdown. We had a bounce back from here. We almost had a couple touches, which is great. So we can use this now as support. The next previous high for our Bitcoin or our Ethereum to Bitcoin currently would be 7.6%. And ultimately, the last one was 7.9% recently. And you always want to look at previous data and see how these lines coincide with previous highs. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Had a reversal. So let's just say that this chain was just going to continue to go up, go up, go up, somewhere along the lines of this. And then possibly a breakthrough. Or we can have an ascending channel or a descending channel, but we broke out of that. If we didn't break this trend line, we would have continued to go to the downside. We would have probably ended up down here, but we didn't. We broke to the upside. All right. Let's go on and look at Cardano. Cardano is a little bit down today. I don't like it. It's down 4%. And this is the market cipher that I was mentioning yesterday. This one kind of gives you little hints as to where breaks happen. As you can see here, we had a red X, broke to the downside, had a red X, broke really to the downside, red X, downside. The little green that just means that there was a lot of that there's like a lot of supply here at this level. So it would be good when it reaches these levels because that way it would move to the upside. Moving further into the chart, red X down, red X, but also a blue triangle, reversal triangles. And that's what it looks like. But here's the thing. It didn't cross over the second time. It crossed over this first time, but never crossed over the second time, which makes me kind of bearish in this. Because it's not looking too good on the RSI. Sorry, guys. It's a little wacky too. Yeah, see, we broke above, but now we're trying to come back up. But as you can see, we're curving here. And if we curve here, this is what's going to happen. We don't want that to happen. Wanted to continue to go up. And it's kind of weird also because they also just released their smart contracts, which obviously by the rumor still the news. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but obviously it's a sucky situation. Here, let me draw my quick lines for Cardano. Obviously, as you can see, we still have a lot of, from our previous low, we still got a lot of sell orders here. It's not good. Previous all-time highs would be here. And here, obviously, you see broke to the upside, can sustain it, drop back down, can sustain it again at this level, and broke back down. So this is our current level that we have to beat in order to remain bullish. You can stay there too, because that's obviously not sustaining above it. If you look back, we had another big sell-off at 258 as well. And that's kind of what happened here. Had another huge sell-off. So you can red X, bad, bad. All right. Trend line. Let's see how our trend line's looking. I mean, it's looking meh. Touch, 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 but nothing. You can't break. That's the problem. You want to be able to break. Same thing here. The only good thing is like here you're sustaining your candle close. Touch, touch, going above it, touch, going above it, touch, going above it, touch, going above it. Hopefully right here, it touches again, but can really break since we're getting so close to this channel end. So hopefully just comes back up. Something along those lines wouldn't be bad. So something to keep an eye on. So let's make a little prediction. If Cardano can sustain this level, if it can sustain this level, let's just do the measure move. I want to say something along these lines. Let's just say it breaks at the 2510. That would probably project us back up to 360 Cardano. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Get some new all-time highs. But just like this can happen. We should always prep for the downside. So our measure move would take us back down to 131, where, as you can see, we have support. That would really suck. I would probably be out of this trade at this level at 225. I definitely do not want to go below $2 again. It was a crappy feeling. And definitely don't want to experience that again. As I mentioned, I have a lot of I have some good Cardano, and it just sucks when one of your biggest holders is the one that's doing the worst. It stings. All right, so let's just keep this up, and hopefully, again, we'll come back tomorrow. But hopefully, we can break out of this channel and go move toward the upside. We're gonna leave that there. We're just gonna. All right, so we did ETH, BTC, Cardano. Now let's move on to let's move on to something that's actually pumping. I don't know what's I'm pumping. Audio, seller, OGN. I'll go. I had Algo about last week. Right now, I am in this trade here. To be honest with you guys, I look at technicals more than projects or kind of what the project's about. I kind of just like to do good entries and see where it kind of takes me. As you can see here, this is my chart that I made earlier. Whoops. Sorry, guys. All right. All right. So I took this trade on September 12th, I guess. Bought an okay position because I saw it bottoming out. I saw the one bottom. This I considered a bottom at the time, but obviously we went down below that. So second bottom, third bottom. And again, in the rule of three, I figured that we were going to move to the upside. So I had a little trend line of where I could possibly do it. You look at the 1 hour, the trend line was just going down. And here it obviously broke. I was aware of it because I had made a note, I made an alert on my trend line to alert me once it broke. Obviously broke back down, retested, just dump. And I took the trade here, confirmed breakout, and both of our trend lines, our white had crossed over. I was negative at most, like, I don't know, what is this? Negative at most. What is that? 2%? 2%, guys. I didn't really have, I knew that I was going to be out if it broke below 23,161, which is not bad. That would only be a 5% loss, which to me is pretty good. I just wanted to have something that was going to give me 3-to-1 reward ratio just from our previous dump right now, just from last week. And when you do that, when you take a long position and you adjust it to how you want it, right here, this little tool is pretty cool because I'll actually tell you what your reward to ratio is. As you can see, I'm already in 10% more than a little bit more than 10. Oh, tab and didn't grab it correctly. All right. So from here, just to our local all-time high, it's a 42% gain. So, I mean, 5% risk to lose, but to gain 40, I'm getting 6.5 to 1. It's a pretty good odds. Also, guys, odds to me play a really big part. I used to play poker, WSOP. Um, Odds are one of the biggest things. What what's your percentage? What are you? Is it a good? Are you getting good reward to risk? You're getting 3-to-1, getting 5-to-1, you're getting 6-to-1. What's your risk tolerance? But this to me seemed like a good idea, which is why I entered. So previous trend line, obviously to enter, broke. Our previous old trend line from low to high broke that. So broke my first one, and now I broke my second line. And now look at that. It came all the way to this one. Couldn't break it. I have a feeling it's just like gonna be here and it'll pop back up. I'm probably going to be out of this trade after um, it reaches probably here, once I get to 40%, or if it can reach one of my daily trend lines, that would be great. Again, you go back to daily time frame. Previous levels were here. Previous level close was here. So these are the two levels that I'm looking at to just close out my position. But look, let's look. It looks awesome. Looks like we haven't even started building positive momentum. We're still in de-escalating this negative momentum. You see a good, nice curvature here to the upside, which is why I'm still remaining bullish on this coin right now. Don't really see anything on the 2 day. Man, this kind of looks really, really good on the 2 day. You build up all that negative momentum and you try to sell off. Not a lot of people are selling, which is why you're coming back up to the positive side. Obviously, this is on a 2 day, so bigger time frame, but still nonetheless one of the crucial time frames. Because it dictates where we're going. Take a look at the weekly, building up to your second wave, curving up. Looks like you're starting barely to separate here. So I feel really, really good about this, even if it doesn't, if I can just get to one of the most common retraces, like let's say the 0.50 from previous high to low, May to now, we're still looking at a nice gain of 80%. That seems kind of good. I mean, don't you think? Um, then obviously here, look at that. You could just adjust your risk, and once you're here, you can assume that if you break here, you're going back down. You're going back down to test $13. But that's not happening right now. Looks like we're curving up even on our market cipher, which is great. And yeah, that's about it. That's what I have for you guys today. Let's look through charts and see what kind of on the 4 hour, see if we have anything like this that we can kind of make a prediction on. We'll check back tomorrow and kind of see where it's at. So we're just gonna scan through all these real quick. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. It's so perfect. Look at that. Perfect levels. You're barely reaching above your middle line. And look what happened once you broke out of your middle line. You just came back up. All right. So let's see if we can find something like this. Here, I guess we'll do this one. So close. So close. Oh, this one actually does not. Oh, Algo. Yeah, Algo. Algo was the one that I had last week. I traded Algo last week. Had a nice little run up. Um, as you can see, my trend lines are still here. This is where I bought in at the 170. This one I had pumped in. This is definitely not something you should be doing, but I kind of did it because I felt very, very bullish on it. I'd seen that we had lost the negative momentum, and we were still barely on this second wave. So I took the trade here at 171, and I sold off right here at this yellow at this pink line at 227. It was a small gain, nothing too crazy, 30%. But still in the great position for me to re-enter with profits below what I originally had sold. I'm getting a 8% discount, which is great, you know. Um, as you can see here, broke out. So maybe we come test back to retest this level and possibly go up. Nothing really is catching my eye here besides the fact that our trend line um, is now looking like this. Along these lines like this. You're doing close to close. You don't really have anything, you kind of came up to this channel, you're breaking your line here is really your last support. You broke out of that, you created a new lower low, which is not bad because it's still better than you created a new higher low. It's better than your past, low. But that's kind of what you want to see. Maybe you come back and test this area to go back break. On our RSI, we're not really seeing anything, or our MACD, we're not really seeing anything besides our breakout. First level of positive momentum. Nothing too crazy. Let's keep on going. Again, this is on the 4-hour time frame. And what we're looking for is our white crossing over our orange. So it'll be a great one. Let's predict here. This looks good. This looks good. All right. Okay, cool. So here, broke out at a 232. Really good. Reversal triangle. Looks like you're creating positive momentum and you're barely about to break past your index here. You did break out of it. So from here, I'm gonna say we're gonna go to this one. And I'm just gonna be very crazy here. I'm gonna say we're gonna reach this level here at this point. We're gonna keep these two lines and see where they end up. We'll check back tomorrow and the day after, see how we did. All right. And without any further ado, thank you guys for sticking around. I'll talk to y'all later. Respect. TA. See y'all.